Okay, maybe we'll get started then. I want to thank everyone for coming today. Our Learn About today by myself, Tom Kreuzer, is going to be on Facebook, the social networking app. First, a little biography about myself. My name is Tom. I go by PC Guy because I have the PC Guy license plate, the only one in Minnesota there. I'm the son of John Kreuzer here at Carondelet. I retired a few years ago after working for 40 years at 3M in their information technology area. I am both an officer and presenter for the 3M Personal Computing Club. We're a very active club at 3M, and I still present. In fact, frequently I'll present here, or I'll present at the PC Club from 11 to 12:30, and then I'll have a presentation here from 2 to 3. So I have a busy schedule there. At its peak, the 3M Personal Computing Club, we had 1,200 members. I do offer free computing help, so if you do have questions or that, I can help you. I know you also have, I think, Teddy there that comes in usually on Tuesdays or most of the Tuesdays that's available to schedule help also. I mentioned that I'm thrifty. I'm not cheap, so if there's an inexpensive way to do things, I usually look at that. You don't have to pay a lot of money for a lot of this software or for the different devices. Next topic that we have for the Learn About will be in April 25th. That'll be a Thursday. Couldn't get the Wednesday. Usually we have them on Wednesday here. But Wednesday, I think they had a trash presentation, so I got bumped because of the trash recycling. So it'll be on Thursday from 2 to 3, and our topic will be email. So everybody has email, everybody has complaints. I'll offer some tips and tricks and different ways that I organize and do things that might be able to help you out in also. We just got done doing Fix-It Clinic, so along with my brother-in-law, Gary Marlowe, who's back there, and my dad and my sister, Mary Marlowe, we put on a Fix-It Clinic, usually every 2 months. So we'll probably schedule another Fix-It Clinic in May. And so if you do have anything that's broken, jewelry, lamps, questions on electronics, we have 15-minute slots, and we'll try and help you as best we can. I mentioned here, I've added out on the Carondelet website some information here about the learnabouts and tech help. So there's a calendar out there, lists both the Fix-It clinics, the presentations. Also, more importantly, it has resources. And right now, this particular meeting and all of the past meetings that I've done, I usually record them, and I have handouts. And those recordings and handouts are also out on the website. So if you ever miss any or want to revisit one last month or 2 years ago, you can go out to the website, you can watch the video, and you can get a copy of the handouts there. And the link to this also on your current handout, you'll see at the bottom of the handout, or the last thing on the handout is the information about the Carondelet website, but there's also that little block there. And if you're not familiar with that little block, that's what's called the QR code. And if you have a smartphone or a tablet, you can just point your camera at it, and it'll take you right there to the site. You don't have to type anything in. Okay, our main topic today is going to be on Facebook, the social networking by myself, Tom Kreuzer. Facebook is the most popular, and it's also free, social media network in the world that connects people by sharing text status, posts, images, videos, and external links. Facebook users can contribute ideas and join conversations with other people who share the same or different interests. Businesses can use Facebook to engage with existing customers, with new customers. They can target new customers, and they can administer customer support even using Facebook. Facebook has been around now for 20th year, so it's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. It has over 3 billion users around the world. Because of all these users and all the revenue that they get from advertisements and things like that on there, they make $135 billion in revenue a year, with $39 billion in profits in 2023. So we don't pay anything to use it, but indirectly, we're clicking on advertisers, we're paying for it one way or the other there. Facebook, the company, is owned by a conglomerate called Meta Platforms. Meta also owns some other applications or websites, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Messenger. And we won't talk about that, but if you do have questions, we can answer them at the end there. Facebook can be accessed from any personal computer, any tablet, any smartphone that can connect to the internet, whether you're using a browser or an app. So most people on their phones or tablets, they'll be using apps. But if you have a laptop, some people prefer to use just their browser. Okay, the first thing we'll cover, which is probably half of the presentation, is the terms that Facebook uses for these different things out there. The first thing that we'll talk about, and probably the most important in my opinion, is privacy. So you control the privacy of what you put out on Facebook. So you can control it either when you create it or by going into the settings and making changes to it. The standard privacy settings, you have different control. The most open is called public. So if I post something or type something on Facebook, if it's public, that means that anyone that has a Facebook account, or even people that don't have a Facebook account, can see that photo or can see the text that I put in there. And that's good for some things to make them public, but you probably don't want everything public. The next category of privacy is friends. So we'll talk about a little later. If I want to connect with you, I submit a request to you to be your friend. Well, that means that only your friends or the people that you friended can see what you posted there. Now, if you've got certain friends that you don't want to let them see a post, maybe you're talking about them or complaining about them, you can actually restrict it so that they don't see it. They never see it. So there is this option called privacy called friends accept. Another one is only me. Well, I don't know why you'd even post something if you're going to set it to only me, but if all you want to do, some people will maybe put something out there just for themselves and then maybe later make it public, but only me doesn't get used a whole lot there. The other is specific friends, where you can identify just a small number of them. And the last category is custom. That's where you can include or exclude friends and lists. Well, I guess there is another one. Family. You can set up a family list and only share stuff with your family. Okay, the next term we'll talk about is profiles. So when you set up a Facebook account, it's going to ask you a whole bunch of information about yourself. That can include your name, your photo, your hometown, where you were born, where you worked, your education history, your interests, and more. There's all kinds of fields that you can put out there. Because you have these privacy settings, you can control who can see that information. So whenever you put information out to Facebook, you want to be aware of what privacy am I going to put on there? Do I want it to be public for everybody? Do I just want it to be my friends out there? So the privacy lets you control what parts of your profile people will see. Now, if you make it too restrictive, and let's say I create a brand new Facebook account and I make it only for my friends, that means that somebody else, let's say an old classmate from high school, is looking for me. They won't be able to find me because that information isn't public and this person isn't a friend of mine. So you do have to take into account what information you want to make public and what information you want to only share with your friends. Also, you get into things like birthdays or an address. Well, again, that's up to you whether you put any information in there or if for birthday you just put a month in there and don't put the exact date. Or the exact year or that. So you have options there. Same with the address. You can just say, I live in St. Paul. You don't have to give out your street if you don't want to, and I wouldn't recommend that you put out everything there. So let's take a quick look at the profile when you set it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over here to Facebook. So I've started Facebook in a browser here. And one of the things that I can do is I can go up here to my account, and let's go into my account here, and I'll do edit profile. And you can see, you can put a profile picture, you can put a cover photo, you can create avatars. I don't have an avatar. You can do bios, you can introduce yourself, you can edit your about information, and your about information is all the things of where were you born, where have you worked in the past, things like that. You can put as much or as little out there. And then you'll see there's these options over here. This is that privacy. So in this case, my current status, I'm happily retired. Only my friends can see that. So that isn't public information that anyone in the world can see. Only my friends can see it. The same as where I graduated from. Only my friends can see it. Now that I live in St. Paul, that's public. I make that public. So everyone in the world searching for me or looking for things can see it. So that's an example of some of these things you'll want to keep public so that people can find you, and other things you want to just share with your friends. Some of them you may not want to share with your friends at all. Well, here's my telephone number. Guess what? That's an only me. I'm not sharing my telephone number with anybody else. But I put it into Facebook because if I did have to reset my password or if I had a problem with the account, I want another mechanism to be able to get into my account. So I do set some of those things up. So you have full control over the information that you put in the profile. You don't have to put in much information at all. But again, if you want people to be able to find you, you'll want to at least put in a little bit of information. Yeah. That's for editing and other options there. You could delete it and stuff like that in there. So for each of those pieces of information, you don't have to enter it in. But again, let's say all I had was a name. Let's say I put just my name out there. I put no other information. Do you know how many Tom Kreuzers are on Facebook? Now, Kreuzer is a unique name, but I think there's something like 30 or 40 in the world because there's 3 billion people on Facebook all around the world. So unless you give a picture, put a picture out there. I was born in this hometown. I was doing this. You want to give some information. You just don't have to give a lot of information there. Okay? And you have control over it. You can turn it on or off or restrict it at any time there. So I mentioned, like past schools and things like that. Well, you can put the years that you were there too. You graduated from this high school and I graduated in 1975. Well, I don't put that out there, but some people will put that out there because it can be easier for somebody searching for you to find all the classmates that graduated in 1975. So again, there's good reasons to put things out there and stuff like that. Okay? Okay, the next term we'll talk about is news feeds or home. This is the main area. So whenever you start up Facebook, this is usually, whether it's in the app or in the browser, this is the main thing that you see. It's where your friends' posts will appear. Also, businesses that you've liked or followed, their information will show there. Your post will show there. And other posts that the algorithm, and we'll talk about the algorithm in a little bit, thinks that you might like. There's no end to it. So unlike a newspaper where it's only so big and there's only so much information, your news feed never ends. It goes on forever. So because literally there's businesses and people and the algorithm will keep feeding you more and more information if you want it to. So there's no end to it. It scrolls forever. To interact with the news feed, you can like certain things, you can react to certain things, and you can share content on your own timeline or other people's timelines and communicate with them through text or a video chat. So let's go back to Facebook here. So this is the home. That's that news feed. And that news feed, get rid of that. News feed is groups that I belong to. This is one of the groups that I belong to, Dull Men's Club. And it actually has some interesting things in there. So I get that feed, the World Kitchen. So some of it's stuff that I've subscribed to and want to see. Some of it's stuff that Facebook thinks that I might be interested in. And then your friends and people that you've friended and businesses that you've followed or liked, those will also show up in there. And it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. And you think, oh, gee, maybe it's getting down near the end here because the scroll bar is halfway through. So let's go to the end here. Well, no, that's not the end. It just keeps going and it keeps going. You could spend all day in here scrolling down and there's no end to it. So you'll see all kinds of posts from all kinds of places, all kinds of people there. Let's go back here. So let's talk about more of the terms. Another term is what's called timeline. This is a chronological order of the post that you made on your account. So if you're putting photos out there and you're putting text and things like that, you can go and look at your timeline to see what's out there and possibly make changes or delete it or things like that. So it's posts that you've made to other friends and groups are not shown here, but are shown on the group or the friend where you posted the information. So some people will think, well, I added a photo to my brother's Facebook account. Why isn't it showing up in my timeline? Well, it's not showing up in your timeline because it was posted on your brother's timeline. So it's on his timeline, it's not on yours. So the timeline has the things that just pertain, your timeline has the things that just pertain to you. Your friend's timeline will have whatever's posted to them. And you can look at your friend's or business timeline at any time. So let's go back to Facebook here. So one of my friends is Tricia Michelonis here, and she had posted or liked the NFL draft there. If I want to see Tricia's timeline, I can click on her name here, and now I'm looking at her timeline on what she's posted here. And this is stuff that she posted to her own timeline, whether it's photos, whether it's links to sites, information that she's interested in, whatever. It's whatever she decides to post there. Let's go back here. Okay, another term is algorithm. And the algorithm, this is an important part of Facebook. Facebook determines what content and what ads you want to see, what to interact with, and what to see next. Because it's that infinite scroll, it has to decide what to show you. Well, based on a lot of factors, and we'll talk about a little bit here, the algorithm uses a thing called dwell time. So how long do you view a post? So as you're scrolling down that list, it knows that you spent 2 seconds on that post or you spent 10 seconds on that post. Well, the stuff that you spend more time on, it's going to show you more things that are like that. So it learns what you're looking at, what you're not looking at, and over time, it gets better and better at determining what content to show you. The goal of Facebook is to get users to engage with these other friends that you have, with other businesses that you have. It's also to let you consume and share content, so you have that. The third type is the ads. So we mentioned before that Facebook isn't doing these things out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it to make money. They made $39 billion. Well, they sell ads, and the ads are specifically tailored to your interest. So as an example, if you go out to Amazon and you start looking up, you're going to buy a football, you're going to get ads for buying a football. So it knows that you went out to Amazon. It knows that you were looking at footballs. It's going to show you options to buy footballs. And so that those ads get tailored to your interest and how you interact with Facebook, whether you click on things, whether you dwell on that. So if you took the time to read all the text, it knows that you took the time to read all the text, or did you just scroll right by it? That's called behavioral targeting. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't know is if you see ads that you don't like on Facebook, you can block them and you won't see them again. So if there's stuff that you don't like or find offensive or just aren't interested in, there's no sense putting up with seeing them. You can get rid of them and that. You can hide or block if there's users. You can also block them, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, another term is what's called posting or a status update. These are things like text, so you're just writing some text. Could be images that you have, a trip that you took, could be videos that you have, could be links to other websites, could be sharing, so you saw something in the dull men's group and you thought it'd be funny for the rest of the people that are your friends, you can share it with your friends. So you have a lot of this sharing going on between different people and groups and information out there. And you can share it on your timeline, you can share it on a news feed, and it'll appear in your friends' news feeds. You can post on a friend's timeline, but you can't control the privacy settings for the posts on your friend's timeline. So if I put a picture out there for my brother, let's say, it's controlled by my brother. It's not controlled by me. I can only control the things that are on my timeline that I put out there. If you don't want other people to see your post, Facebook has a way to do private messages instead. So let's go back to Facebook real quick here. So when I'm out on Facebook, let's do this. Get rid of that. So if I wanted to post, the first thing that shows up on top is what's on your mind. And I can post videos or photos or just type in anything that I want in here. I can just say giving a demo now. And I can post that. Now I could add pictures, I could add other things, I could change the text, I could put happy faces, I could do anything that I want there. And by default, I have mine set to public, so this post is now, if I click the post button, is now in my timeline and has been posted out, that I'm now giving a demo. If I go to my timeline, I can get to my timeline by going up to my account, clicking over here. This is my timeline. And these are some of the previous ones here. Let me do a refresh to see what we come up with here. Oh, there's giving a demo now. And here's one before. I posted on March 12th. Good advice not to give out your personal information. So on Facebook, you'll see a number of questionnaires or little deals that people will put, and that'll ask, where did you grow up? What's your favorite color? Your pet's first name? Different things like that. And if you read this, it says, stop giving people your personal information to guess your passwords and security questions. So don't fill these out on Facebook. It's a way for scammers and stuff like that to collect information about you. But we talked about that in previous presentations with security. But it's easy to post, like I just did there, so you can post anything out there. Let's go back here. Okay, the next term is friends. So we talked about connecting with people. So friends are people you've either sent a request to and they've accepted, or people who have sent you a request and you've accepted. So you can't become friends with people without both people wanting to be friends. I can't just say, well, I want to be Betty's friend here, so I'll do that. I send a friend request to Betty, and she has to accept me as a friend before we're connected. So Facebook's friends requires both you and the other person to be friends with each other. I recommend that you limit yourself to family and close friends. Mine currently, my friend list is limited to 38 people. I don't friend everybody in the world or try and have hundreds or thousands of friends. To me, I don't need that. I'm interested in family and friends that are real close there. And if you do have too many friends, that means you'll just need to scroll to a lot of information on a lot of different posts that people have. So some people think that having hundreds or thousands of friends is a sign of that you're really connected. To me, it's kind of a sign that you're disorganized, that you can't figure out who your real friends are, and limit your time and effort to those real friends there. The way that you can find friends, though, is you can add friends by searching for them. So within Facebook, you can search, and that's where if I wanted to find somebody that was in grade school with me or high school with me, I could search by that. I could search by their name. I could search by their location. I could do a number of different things. Another way to add friends is to use the Find Friends tab, which will suggest different friends to you based on friends of your friends. Maybe you want to be friends with some of these other friends, and and so it'll try and connect you to. You can also import, if you have contacts, people in your contacts, you can import that from your email or from the iCloud, the Apple iCloud, or from the phone. The algorithm will also make suggestions over time. So let's go back here. Let's go back. So you'll see I have 38 friends here. And this is where it's recommending people. It says, these are people that you may know. And it'll tell you if, like this Lori Thorsten is, she's a friend of 3 people that are already my friends. And so these are the names of the people that she's already friends with that are also friends of mine. And it'll recommend, I can click on this, see all, it'll recommend all kinds of different people and things like that. So you can do that. You can also try and search for friends. So if I go up here, I can type in a name or whether it's a business or a person, and I can search for them that way. Let's go back here. Okay, another term is followers. Facebook automatically follows your friends for you, and you can manually unfollow them without unfriending them. This action removes the individual post from your newsfeed. If you do this, you'll need to search your friends individually or search their timelines to catch up on the latest information. So if you find a person that's posting too much and you don't want to unfriend them, because if you unfriend them, then the other person will know that you've unfriended them. You may just hide or block their posts so that you don't see it. So there's all kinds of options. Another thing you have on Facebook is groups. These are communities of users who interact with each other based on various topics set by the group's administrators. The administrators have a wide range of permissions where they can enable or disable to have the group function in a particular way. Pages, so businesses operate a little bit differently than personal people there. Businesses use Facebook pages to create a presence for their business and interact with their users. Another one is events. Users and businesses have the option to advertise events. The events can accept RSVPs. You can create guest lists. You can share date and time and location and events. So a lot of power there. Another feature in Facebook is Facebook Messenger. It's a separate application for users to chat, call, or video one-on-one with other friends or people on Facebook. You can do it as a private group, or you can do it with one individual only. Most people use it to send a private message between 2 people. So we'll just take a quick look there. If we go back to Facebook, and let's go back to our home page here. This will show me some of my friends here, and it'll show when they were last on Facebook. So here's my brother. He was last on, I don't know if you can read that, 28 minutes ago. If I wanted to connect to him, I could click on him, and I could send him a text message, or I can do things. And this is only a conversation between the 2 of us, not between anybody else. And so you can check and see when people were last on Facebook, which some people go, well, isn't that spying on people? Well, yes, it is spying on people. Your information is out there, and their information is out there. So yes, you can see some of these things there. A new option that they added within the last year on Facebook is something called a story. A story is a short piece of text or a photo, but it's only going to be visible for 24 hours, and then it disappears. Doesn't stay in your timeline forever like other posts. It's just out there for 24 hours, and if somebody doesn't see it within 24 hours, too bad, so sad, it's gone. So it's a way for people to do short posts there. Notifications. When you set it up, whether on your phone or on your laptop, you have all kinds of options for notifications. Whenever somebody creates a new post or a friend request or all kinds of things there, it'll inform you when friends engage with your posts or photos or videos. You'll receive notifications that explain what they engaged with and when. You can find friend requests. It can be a quick way to find a post that you may have viewed in the last day or two. So I tend to turn off all of my notifications. I don't want to get notified every time somebody posts because I don't look at Facebook more than at most once or twice a day. That's it. I'm not on it all the time. I don't respond every time somebody puts something out there. But you can see what's going on. So let's go back here to Facebook. Up here in the heading, you'll see one of these icons is called notifications. This shows me all the notifications. So this is telling me that my brother put a question out on Facebook there 6 hours ago. And I can click on it and I can go right to it. And this he posted to a group called Canby History. He's saying, where is it Wednesday? So this is a picture of looks like a windmill from shooting up. Where is it in Canby, Minnesota? And then all these different people will start trying to guess where the picture's from there. So there's different things that you can do, but the notifications can be handy. I can go through this. I can see when people posted things, whether they just gave a like or a thumbs up or whether they added a post or that. I can see all that information. Okay, another term is comment or reply. Whenever your friends post on Facebook, you can leave a comment or you can use that like or that. So we won't go into that because we're running a little late here. Okay, we'll talk about some of the tips I have on Facebook. The main purpose of Facebook is to help friends and family connect with each other. So I'll have people say, well, I don't want to use Facebook at all. And I say, well, what do you use to connect with people? Some people will be sending emails back and forth. Well, emails is okay, but if you have a bigger family, it's easier to post once on Facebook and share with a bunch of the family and do things. So there's real good reasons to use Facebook. It isn't all junk. If it's junk, you made it junk because you're the one looking at the stuff or spending your time on it. You can limit who your friends are, what you post, and what goes out there. So it's the best way to connect with your family and friends is by updating them about your life with posts, whether it's text or whether it's photos, birthdays, anniversaries, trips that you're taking or have taken. It's a great way to do that. You can add photos, videos, or albums and live video broadcasts for all your friends to see. I do mention limit what you share with your friends so that you don't bore them. Kind of similar to the old slideshows. You don't want to vacation, you don't want to go on a vacation and post 128 photos for somebody to take a look at. No, our attention spans aren't that great. Show me your best 5 to 10 photos, that's all I need. I don't need hundreds of photos there. I also mention here that because if you put too much stuff out there or posting every day about what you ate for lunch and what you ate for dinner and you took a picture of it, I'm going to block you or I'm going to unfriend you because I don't need to see that. That adds nothing to my experience here on earth here. So you ultimately control everything there. Facebook should not be your primary way to organize your photos and videos. So some people will think that, oh, now because I posted them out there, that's the way to do it. Well, Facebook was never designed for that. It's hard to search for some of the stuff. It's hard to find. Oh, gee, I was at a wedding 2 years ago and I'm looking for a photo from 2 years ago. Well, you could spend a half an hour or 45 minutes scrolling through stuff or trying to find that post. It's not a way to organize. There are much better sites to organize your videos and organize your photos. But it is a good way to share them at that instant. So use it for what it's good for, and that. I've talked about like YouTube for sharing videos and Google Photos. So there's other platforms and other services for things there. Many people will use emojis to react to a post, a happy face or a thumbs up or stuff like that. I'm not a fan of emoji. One of the things I did at 3M is I was a UI expert. I evaluated user interfaces and how systems worked, and I'd go through and tell the developers to completely rewrite this, to call the buttons here, put them here, things like that. Icons and emojis are awful. Cavemen and early Egyptians used pictures until languages were created that better reflected what we think. So if you think you're doing anybody a service by putting a heart or stuff like that, no. Put exactly what you mean so that they know what you mean, especially now since there are so many different emojis, happy faces and frowning faces and stuff like that. Use text to make it clear. Whenever your friends share something, you can choose to like a post. This is just a simple way of showing your friends that you enjoyed what they shared. To like a post, you click the button below the post, and there's a like button, and you can put an emoji there, a heart or a smile. Notes like lights are posted on your friend's news feed. This can be mildly embarrassing or revealing depending on your interest. And this may sound a little confusing here, so I'll explain it a little bit. So because you're scrolling through this endless feed of things, if you click like, recognize the fact that all of your friends are going to see that you like this. So your clicking like is like standing on the podium and yelling to your friends, I like this. So I'll have people that'll like something and they think that they're the only one that's seeing it. No, this is broadcasting it to, in most cases, the whole rest of the world now knows that you like the Minnesota Vikings, or you like Mountain Dew, or you like things like that. And some people will do likes on, maybe they're on a dating site and they'll put a like out there. Well, you're broadcasting it to everybody that this is what you like. So be careful what you like and what you broadcast. Okay, to customize your news feed, you can go to Settings, Feed. From there, you can prioritize the posts that you'll see. You can unfollow people and groups, hide their posts, reconnect with people and groups that you may have unfollowed, and you can hide certain things. So in this case, we'll quickly go out here. If I go into Settings, I can get to, on the browser of Facebook, if I go up here to Accounts, it's a case of, you'll see there's Settings and Privacy. I can go here, and then I can go to Settings. And you have a ton of options in here for what to work with here. So you have all kinds of options in here to follow and unfollow, and what you see and how you see it. And we don't have time to go into each of these, but you can control what shows up on your feed and what you like. And if you don't want to see a certain person, you can block them here. Or if I went back here, and let's say, let's find one in here. So this is my brother here. So let's go. Well, see, there's 3 dots here next to any post, and if I click on that, I can hide that comment, I can report that comment. If I hide the comment, that means that the algorithm will suddenly take that into consideration, whether to show me comments that my brother makes or doesn't make. So it'll eventually learn to not show you things. Or if I don't like these particular posts here, I can turn off notifications from this post. I can save the post to use it later. Let's see if we got another one here. I don't see it right now, but you have complete control over what you see and what you don't see. You can tag people in a post. So when you are making a post and you want to draw attention to a particular person or that, you can tag them. And the way that you tag them is you can put an @ sign before their name and start typing their name, and then Facebook will say, is this the person that you are expecting to tag? And so if I was having a photograph and I wanted to make sure I was posting it on my timeline and I wanted to make sure that my brother was going to see it, I'd tag my brother with an @ sign and then his name, and he would get notified and it would show up in his timeline. You can share info, a link to an article on a web page by typing or pasting the link in Facebook. Facebook will show you a preview of the site. If you friend or group a business and are getting too much or just not interested in it anymore, you have lots of options. You can click the 3 dots that I talked about, and you can block it. If it's a friend of yours, you can unfriend, you can unfollow, you can do what's called snoozing, which means they won't show up for 30 days in your news feed. So if you're they're posting too much, they just got a new baby, and every day the mother is posting photos of the kids, and you don't want to see it every day in your news feed. You can snooze that person for 30 days. They don't know that you snoozed them. But you won't see their posts for 30 days. If you see ads for things you're not interested in, you can hide future ads about these products. It won't stop, ads won't go away, they'll just be replaced with other ads for things that it thinks you might be interested in. So as an example, I see people that still have Viagra ads coming up on their news feed. Well, you don't have to put up with that. You can hide them. And the way that you hide them is, let's go back here. Let's find an ad. No, that's not an ad. Where are we? Yeah, so this is an example here. This is an ad here from Mazda. Let's say I didn't like Mazda here. Well, I could do this X here. Or I could do the 3 dots here. If I do this, you'll see hide an ad. Never see this ad again. I could report this ad and say, well, there's something I find offensive about the ad. Then it gets reported to Facebook, and Facebook may decide to take down their whole ads there. Or I can save a link, turn off notifications. So I could do the hide an ad. If I click on this, you'll see it comes up and it says, why don't you like this ad? Is it repetitive, irrelevant, too personal, sensitive, incorrect language, knows too much, already purchased? We'll click on already purchased, and it's telling you right here that there's other things that you can do. I could totally block Mazda from ever giving me anything there. So you have other options too. In this case, I've now hidden that ad. I won't see any ads that are like that anymore. So I know I'm repeating myself. You're in control of what you see. The Facebook isn't in control of what you see. Facebook wants you to be happy and will show you what, or give you control over what you see there. We mentioned or saw just as we were going through, if there's a post that you like or think that you may want to see in the future, you can do what's called save a post to make it easier to find that in the future. So if there's one that you like, a family picture from one of your friends that you want to make easy to find next time, you can save the post and it'll put it in a folder, a saved folder, where you can organize them into even more folders if you have tens or hundreds or whatever you're saving there. You can organize them so that they're easy to find. Resharing, you can click at the bottom of a post to share it with your friends who may not be friends with the original poster. That's the reason that you're resharing there. Or you can share it with other groups or other friends also. When you reshare, it has the default privacy of the friend you shared it with. You can follow and get updates from your favorite brands, celebrities, sports teams, and publications. The best way to do this is by searching for them on Facebook and liking or following them. The algorithm will then make other suggestions for other things that you might be interested in. In groups, if you do start belonging to groups, you may have seen the label next to some people in the group where it says top contributor. This is assigned to people who post and get lots of likes or views for the stuff that they post. So that's one way to tell this person is popular within this group or that. Very few people on Facebook get paid for what they post. Some people think, well, I can make money. I've heard of Kim Kardashian making millions. I don't need millions. Just give me $100,000 for me posting pictures of my lunch every day. Well, you aren't going to get money for that. You need tens of thousands of followers or align yourself with other businesses to put ads out there and stuff like that. So not that many people make money. There are certainly a lot of people that make a lot of money, but the average person is not going to make any money using Facebook. I mentioned here some of the interests that I follow. Marketplace, which is like classified ads. So if you're buying or selling anything, Marketplace is the place to buy and sell. You may have heard of Craigslist. Well, Craigslist was replaced by Marketplace, really, because more people are out on Marketplace. It also is structured differently where you have local marketplaces and more global marketplaces. Also, I'm in a Buy Nothing group. So if you just want to get rid of something and you don't want to charge for it, or you're looking for something, I had a friend of mine who was converting his cassette tapes to CDs. He's a little bit behind the time, but he asked me if I had any old CDs that I didn't need anymore, and I said I don't, but I said I know where we can get some, and I went out to this Buy Nothing and I posted out there and I asked if anyone had any blank CDs that they wanted to get rid of. Well, I got about 150 of them that way for the guy, so he was very happy and didn't have to pay a penny. They all were free. Highland Garage Fest, Carondelet has a Facebook site out there. I'm from Canby. Canby, most towns have their own. Minnesota history. Since I come from IT, I belong to a group, IT Humor and Memes. Abandoned Minnesota, my brother got me into that, and my dad likes that one also. Dull Men's Club, there's exciting things out there. Highland Neighborhood Group, so there's groups out there for each of the different neighborhoods also. When you post things, you can choose to share your location on posts. I don't recommend sharing your location because let's say you were sharing pictures that you went down to Cabo San Lucas on a vacation. Well, somebody could see that you're not at your house currently. Now, if you're posting your pictures after you get back from the vacation, fine. That's not a problem. But if you're posting stuff while you're down there, you be aware of your shouting to the world, we're down at Cabo San Lucas. So be aware of what you're doing. Facebook, if you do decide to start using it, you have pictures, you have your profile picture of your face and that. It should be 180 by 180 pixels. If you don't know what it means, you should figure out what it means to figure out how to get the best picture. And also you have a cover photo, and the cover photo should be a certain size. So if you want it to look good, you do have to put a little time and effort into it. I mentioned this, all social networks have issues with user privacy. So people say, I'm not going to use it because there's privacy or fake news or conspiracy or hate speech or things like that. Again, you choose what groups you interact with, you choose who your friends are, you choose to hide or to block whatever. So you're in control there. Think first and be responsible for what you post and who you subscribe to in that. You can report a post to a group you belong to with the admin, for the admin to check it out. You may also choose to block posts from other people so that you don't see it in the future. Okay, we went through a lot of things real quick, but we do have a few minutes there. Can take some questions. Yes, Betty?
It's not really a question, it's just something boring life.
I would argue that this is exactly opposite of what you said there. The reason for that is this is letting you connect with people and groups around the world. So if you think it's boring, find interesting groups to communicate with, to share information with. I don't recommend that you spend 8 hours a day on the platform, but it truly is a case of, is this better than listening to music? I would argue yes, it's stimulating your brain. You should be conversing with people. You should be sharing with people. If your interest is in photography, you can be communicating with other people about equipment that you have or techniques that you use or things like that. There's no end to what you can do, and the fact that this connects 3 billion people around the world, there really is no limit to what you can do there. You certainly can waste your time and do things, but you know, it's a case of, even if you're just following some of the stores that you tend to shop at, well, all of a sudden it's like the old days of advertisements in newspapers and magazines. This is the replacement for that. This is what you have, and you control what you see and do there. Other questions? Yes? I used to be able to what to a friend?
Like, if I thought person 1 and person 2 should know I should be friends, you could suggest that, but I can't figure out how to do that.
Yeah, there isn't a suggestion. I mean, at any time, what you can do is, if I go here, let's say, let's use my dad. I'm going to pick on my dad there. So he's on Facebook. There's John Kreuzer Sr. So this is his timeline. I can take this information here. I can copy it. I could send it in an email to a friend and say, take a look at this. And when they see this, there's going to be a button here where they can attempt to friend or connect with them. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is just go up here and search. If I searched for Canby, Minnesota, from where I was, all of a sudden, let's see what I get back here. This gives me all kinds of results for groups that are out there, for people that are posting with the word Canby, Minnesota in there, for people that are related to it. So these are people that have Canby. They graduated from Canby High School or things like that. So you can search with 3 billion people out there, you can search and find just about anything under the sun. And in terms of topics, there's nuclear scientists that are connected out here, and then you've got the Dull Men's Club. Well, the Dull Men's Club, you're not supposed to post anything too interesting because that's too interesting. And when you post to there's rules on some of these. So when you post to the Dull Men's Club, you're also either supposed to put your waist size or your shoe size. And then if you're putting a photograph of something, in order to signify how big it is, you're supposed to include a banana in the photo. So that's the scale that people know what's being used. So there's fun things out there. There's serious things out there. Like I say, there's with 3 billion people, and I don't know, I've never looked up how many new posts are put out there a day, but I would guess you're talking in the tens of billions of posts being put out there new every day. So there's constantly new stuff out there. Yes?
Could 5 people meet similar to Zoom on Facebook?
Yeah, the question, I'll repeat it again. I'm sorry I didn't repeat it for some of the people online or that. But yeah, the question was, can a group of like 5 people decide to meet? Yes, this is an excellent platform for this. As an example, I'm a member of Lumen Christi Catholic Church. Lumen Christi Catholic Church has a Facebook site out here, and so people can post and see, and they can put the bulletins out here, but they also live stream their church services, and that's done through Facebook. So you can actually live stream. I could have live streamed this, and people could have connected in through Facebook and seen this presentation and things like that. So anything that you can think of, you can do using this mechanism here. Other questions, comments? And if you haven't given it a try, give it a try. And you know, I don't recommend that you spend all day on it. But certainly there's interest. If you're interested in the Minnesota Vikings or the Twins, all of a sudden you found a community of people that follow the Twins and follow the trades that they make and follow the things that they have. And it's much more interactive, let's say, than reading a newspaper or that. And the newspapers have gotten thinner and thinner. Well, they've been replaced by this. This is free. It's out there. Instead of a handful of reporters, you've got maybe 1,000 people. So you've got all this sharing and commenting and different things like that going on. So to me, it's a tool. I don't spend a whole lot of time, and certainly I wouldn't recommend, again, people spending a great deal of time in it. But find the things that you're interested in. And there's groups out there for everything under the sun. Yes?
How do they do it? Do they just all agree to turn on to somebody's site at the same time?
Yeah, there's different ways that you can do it. I mean, if you want to, so let's go out. Let me do this. So here's Lumen Christi. Let me go out to this is their page on Facebook here. They have 857 people that are following them. What's that?
Right now.
Right now, that have over the course have that doesn't mean 857 are on at this instant. It just means that they're following them to the point where if Father puts out a new post, I'm going to see it on my news feed. I'm going to get notified. So you have things like that. So here they're asking for volunteers for one of their deals here coming up down in the Highland Bridge. They're doing household packing for the new people moving in. There's the schedule. Okay, this is the Sunday service. So they live stream the Sunday service. Now, whoever wants to connect in can watch it at that time. But let's say I didn't connect in. I can click here after the fact.
Welcome to Lumen Christi Catholic Community. Today we gather for Palm Sunday.
So this is the Palm Sunday
If you would
service.
like to join our procession, please join Father Dan.
Let's go up here.
And he prayed, saying the same thing. Then he returned once more and found them asleep, for they could not keep their eyes open.
But they can't talk to each other in real time.
She's talking about two messengers.
No, if you want to do that, then you use Facebook Messenger. I showed that a little bit earlier, where I can either talk or have video back and forth between myself or a group of people. This is an example of having a group of people, whether it's 5 people or 5,000 people, that can share an interest, that you can do things together there. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
Can you say when somebody posts a photo and you want to save it? How do you do that?
Good question. The question was if somebody posts something that you want to save. Let me go back here and I'll go out to mine, just because I know I've got some. So here's some I put out here for my dad's 97th birthday. So if I'm looking at the photos out here, if I just right mouse click on it, you'll see there's an option to save the image. I can save it to my, in this case, to my laptop. If I'm on my phone, it saves it to my phone. So you can save. Now, recognize my earlier tips I talked about. This should not be your primary mechanism to share photographs with other people, because this is what's called the low-res photo. When it was uploaded to Facebook, Facebook didn't upload it with the highest quality. It looks okay here, but this is a low quality picture because when it's shown on the screen, it doesn't have the megapixels of detail in that. If you're trying to share with friends and family high quality photos, that's where you want to use a site that's geared towards that. But to save quick and dirty, postings and things like that, yes, you can put it out here and you can save it and things like that. Does that answer it? Okay. Getty?
Well, when I first saw it, it did not have the two on the right. Now, is that your other brother or sister-in-law? Or did you take another picture and put them together? Or was it taken as one picture?
This particular, this was one picture. This is my brother here and my sister and Gary there, and they were up here. And I used my phone. You can see I have a little button here. That's a Bluetooth button to click the photo. So I can set up the camera and then click the photo that way. But if you see anything, any picture that you want, I'm right mouse clicking on it. I can save it. If I'm on my phone or tablet, if you just hold your finger over it, a menu will pop up to save it or to copy, or these same options here. So you do have the option of getting stuff. But if you do want the higher quality, your family or that should set up another mechanism to share it that way. But if you can't get them anyway, this is, at least you've got something as opposed to nothing there. Okay, any other questions or comments? Give it a shot. If you do have other questions or that, use it. And again, it can be as useful as you make it to be. And you don't have to post all the time. Myself, I post maybe once or twice a month I'm not posting every day. I'm not posting pictures of my food. You know, you choose what you want. Don't bore people with your pictures and things like that. Yeah, it can be a lot of fun, especially some of the different groups and things like that. And if you don't like the groups that you're in, there's, I don't know, I would guess probably a billion groups out there. So there's groups for everything under the sun. Okay, well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had no idea that all was there.
It's all there. It's all free. Lots of things there. Let me get this 1 second here, Dave.